Hey guys, it's your brother in Christ, Weston. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to be doing a video review from Ruslan talking about a really important topic and sounds encouraging. Let's get into it. Okay, in three, two, one.
There's been some new data that just recently came out confirming two different things. Number one is that transformer and non-binary identity is rapidly declining amongst college age students. I think that means that they're not gay no more. And also, Bible sales are surging, as well as religious apps. 80% downloads going up on religious apps, stuff like YouVersion, which I use YouVersion. I'm a logos software kind of guy, but the YouVersion is awesome. And so I want to kind of go over some of this data, get into perhaps why this is happening. And of course, me being called a fascist for acknowledging the obvious, which is this is a social contagion. But before we get into that, guys, I want you to know, hey, just a few more days left to shop our Among the Pagans collection. It is available right now. You can get the piece that I'm wearing among the pagans based on First Peter chapter 2, verse 12. Live such good lives among the pagans. Though they accuse you of doing wrong, they may see your good deeds and then glorify God on the day you visit them. A great collection to wear, especially during the holidays, all the craziness that's going on. And there's some puzzles you can get as a family. And if you go to the same website or go to RuslanKD.com, you can see I am going on tour this spring: Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas. We have Chicago, Pittsburgh, Arlington, Virginia, or the DC area, New York, Los Angeles, Clearwater, Florida, Tampa area, and Atlanta, Georgia. Go to Ruslan KD or hit the pinned comment, join on the waiting list to be the first to get access to tickets before they go public. Okay, so let's look at this study. Transformer, you guys know I can't say that word because YouTube don't like it. Transformer non-binary identity is rapidly declining among college students. The number of students identifying as something other than male or female. Sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk. Identifying as something other than has declined by half since 2023. In 2023, it looks like it had peaked
Whoa.
almost at 10%.
Yo, look at the
Share of
drop.
students not identifying as male or female peaked, and now it's back down to it looks like around 2%. So let's look at this. This is by Relevant. It says the percentage of college students identifying as transformer or non-binary has dropped significantly over the past 2 years, according to a new analysis of multiple campus surveys. The trend makes a shift after years of steady increase in students identifying outside the male-female binary. One major data source polls 68,000. That's a lot of people. Usually 1,000 or more is considered like a sufficient sample size. Students were asked to choose from gender options, including man, woman, non-binary, agender, gender fluid, gender queer, unsure, or prefer not to say. Goodness gracious, there's a lot of definitions.
How do you identify?
Actually, I identify as.
Oh, here we go. It's that long plethora of, oh
What?
my God.
Wait for it.
I will. Let me get a chair.
Anything outside man or woman.
If you haven't watched that, that is hilarious. I've seen that lady do this. And I was like, yo, for real. Okay, let's finish up. We're just going to watch a couple more minutes and we're done.
Was categorized as gender nonconformity according to the survey. The share of students identifying as transformer in 2023 at nearly 7%, but dropped under 4%. So sorry, I read that graph wrong. But that's almost half a percentage of a decline. Students who did not identify as male or female fell from 6.8 to 3.6. Again, a half. Other schools. So when you that may not seem like a lot, but when you pull that out across hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people who identify as this, that's a significant decline. Other school surveys have similar trends. Brown University from 5 to 2.6, Phillips from 9.2 to 3. Geez, that's a massive decline. Younger students, especially freshmen and sophomores, were less likely to identify as transformer or non-binary than upperclassmen. Eric Kaufman, the report's anchor and a professor of politics at the University of Buckingham, called this a sign that fashions are changing. So you mean to tell me it was a social contagion all along? Who would have thought? And again, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I think it is important to acknowledge that how much of this was culturally and societally influenced, right? Meanwhile,
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
From 68 to 77%, gay and lesbian identification remained mostly stable. Okay, interesting. So I don't know how that works. Apparently, more people identifying as heterosexual, but folks who've always been same-sex attracted remain same-sex attracted. Interesting. Why is this shift happening? Experts say one possibility is the improved mental health. Oh my gosh, bro.
Facts.
so,
For real.
so who would have thought that when you improve people's mental health, that when you give them agency, that when you start railing against the system and it's all bad and it's all
That's so
negative,
good. We're going to talk about it here in just a second.
all of a sudden people start coming back to a real reality based assertion of who they are. Among college students appear to be declining from Harmony Healthcare. 57% of students say their mental health has improved. I would argue causation, but at the very least, correlation between young folks who are conservative leaning or Christian.
Okay. And then he talks about here like better access to therapy and of the support systems. Still, mental health alone doesn't fully explain the shift. That's okay. So, why is this important? Because, like he said, you can't say the T word. You have to say like the alphabet community or transformers or people who are making up their identities as they go based on the day and every minute and every whatever and of any moment. When a guy falls in love with a girl, he becomes so attracted. He becomes like so subservient in a way that he wants to serve her and love her because he's all about her. He could be like super like guarded and walled up, but then the moment he meets a woman he's super interested and he's physically attracted to, um he's into her, then he starts to like open it, he starts to just like give her complete access. That happens on a day-to-day basis and vice versa for a woman as well, right? And then once this happens, then we break down even other boundaries or other walls and we start moving goalposts, or we just completely remove boundaries and we start falling for whatever at some point. That's a societal like contagion for sure that continues to cripple us, where we get out of this space and place of what's actually reality, what's real, what's harmful. Just hearing this and seeing people step not backwards, but I guess moving forward or past this like ditch that we've been in as a society where men can be women and women can be men and we can just do it on the fly, and then we try to say we're animals or some imaginary person or whatever. We start to lose ourselves and everything else that follows. We just move the goalposts. The boundaries that we once held firm to are not there anymore. We see an issue of something breaking. And why is this important? Because once you start seeing it male and female again, you start seeing identity. You start seeing the benefits of living in what you who you are. You're male or you're female. You are strong in this, you're strong in this. Then we start looking at orders. We start taking it back gender roles. We start looking at our strengths and our weaknesses. And we start seeing how like there's something about that. And that's not to, be above the rest, or, men to lord over women or women to lord over men or anything like that. It's the idea of an order that is structured by God, that for every head of Christ is man, and every head of woman is for every head of man is Christ, every head of the woman is the man, right? And so then we start seeing that. Then we start seeing just this. The reality is that men are naturally built stronger. We are now. This is how we are. We're meant to be protectors. We're meant to serve. We're meant to provide and protect and love sacrificially. There's something wired in that for us as men that we want to do. Women are naturally meant to be soft and taken care of. Not that they can't take care of themselves, because we're not trying to say you can't. Nobody's saying that. But you were designed to, at minimum, to be in a loving relationship with a man who is taking care of you, who is providing for you, who is loving you, who is dying for you because you're that valuable. Not to where you are not being submissive to your husband, not loving your husband, not caring for him, not, and like that something in our reality has distorted where this idea of men, then we flop the gender roles. Then we start flopping like how things are built. This becomes way more than just a study. It comes back to people realizing, and we talked about Bible cells, like what's the correlation there? Is there a correlation between like the truth of that and the lies that you're seeing when darkness is so explicitly public these days? You can't ignore it, and then you find that something is wrong. And the ideology is that it has gone deeper and deeper into a ditch, a valley of a pit of hell, if you want to call it, of just a distortion, a disruption of the nuclear family. A wife is supposed to be at the house. She's supposed to be taking care of the family. Doesn't mean she can't be a boss wife. And the man is supposed to be working and providing so his wife can go out and do all the things she wants to go do. Like, hey, I want to be a creator. I want to be a YouTube creator, a fashion creator. I want to start my own business. I want to whatever. The man is meant to cultivate and steward this environment for his wife to flourish and excel. And let's just say her dream. You know what my dream is? My dream is to be the best father and the best husband that my wife and my son can go do their dreams. I don't, it's not like, I'm not trying to sound super humble or anything like that. My dream is to have a successful marriage, to have a successful raising of my children, to have all those things, because that's what actually matters, and to be the person that provides the means for them to go out and conquer whatever they want to go do. Whatever they want to go do. Why? Because on my back is my responsibility to steward this environment for them to be successful, for them to flourish and shine in their gifts and in their callings and the things they don't have to go do the 9 to 5. I'll do it, right? Because my calling is different. And I don't mind. It's not like I'm mad about my calling. It's that I want to do this because I want them to never have to think about having to do something they don't want to go do. At least in bare minimum of making money, in terms of being able to do that, right? I'll go do that. I want them to be able to have the opportunities to be able to say, dad or honey or husband, I want to go do this. Okay, let me get behind it. I'll do what I need to get done to provide that for you, because I want that. Because that's what I'm called to do. I'm called to sacrifice, not to sacrifice my dream, but to sacrifice myself in this role of working the fields to set my family up for success in the sense that I am called to do, not for salvation or anything like that in terms of like me saving them. It's to provide the environment that they can flourish and see God through me, can see the Holy Spirit in me, can see the little Jesus working that is trying to be like the Lord and do all these things, not perfectly, but to the best of my ability. And that allows them to be the boss babe, or my son to who loves airplanes to go be a pilot and go to pilot school. He's 7 years old and absolutely obsessed with airplanes. Hey, you want to go do pilot school? Yeah, that's awesome. Or my wife to start her own business or whatever she wants to do. I don't care. My idea of me is not to be in the limelight. It's to show that my family is my limelight, to show that my working is not for my happiness. Me working doesn't make me happy. What makes me happy is seeing my family taken care of by my ability to go get it done, right? That's me. That's not everybody, and I assume there's different things like that. What I'm talking about is the idea around this, people changing just their identity in general, brings them back to something more secure that says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church. Wives, submit to your husbands, right? Offer yourselves to each other. Your body doesn't belong to you, it belongs to my wife. My wife's body doesn't belong to her, it belongs to me. There's this idea that God has ingrained in his word, and we get real weird about this, and we're really like opinionated, and really it comes a hot debate. Like, it shouldn't be a debate. It's what he says. Wives, submit. Husbands, die. I would say, though, the husband has the harder calling. It's hard, hard for sure. And this isn't to make anybody feel bad. I'm just saying, you were not called to do this. You weren't called to provide for the family. You weren't called to work like that. You were called to be at home. That's take care of the children, multiply. I bring you whatever, you multiply it, right? Thinking about then people just picking up the Bible, anything like that. Why, if this literally goes back into a scriptural means of why the society works so well that like this, and why women can can go off and create and be the creatives that they are and that they want to do, not because it's like, oh, like I can't go work and provide for myself. No. Ideally, though, you shouldn't have to. You should be soft and tender and kind and loved and secure and safe. Not that you have to worry about a mortgage or a car payment or whatever, right? A man is called scripturally to be the provider, the protector, the priest, the pastor, the head. You cannot find this in scripture for a woman, guaranteed, period. It is not there. So the idea of just people forsaking these alphabet community transformer type ideologies removes this, and people picking up a Bible again will say, hey, if at minimum this is what I'm called to do, and it's the best calling. It's amazing. It is amazing what God can do when we abide in his word, even if we don't like it in one season, we may love it in the next. So, anyways, I could rant on this for so long. So that's the video. Please go watch the rest of Ruslan's video. It's about an 11-minute video. We covered about 3 to 4 minutes of it. Great stuff, great content. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna go finish it up. I just wanted to share it with you because I was like, man, this is awesome. And so we should talk about it. Anyways, that's the video. If you like the video, be sure to like the video. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. It helps me out in my little niche over here. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed, everybody who's been with me and just rocking with me since a couple of subscribers on the screen. I am a very, 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 very small creator who gets not a dime from anything. I don't make any money, $0. But maybe one day, you guys heard me say it, maybe one day I'll make some money from this. That'll be able to supply what I make at a 9 to 5, and then provide even more for my family. That would be awesome. And one day, maybe we'll get there, and maybe we won't. But we'll leave it up to the Lord. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one.